Free Palestine Central Vic. Free Palestine Central Vic are a Castlemaine-based community organising and action group who many people have probably seen meet regularly here in Jarrah Park. So if elected as a local councillor at the October 2024 local government elections, do you commit to ensuring that the council adopts an active and consistent position on human rights and demonstrates this by formally committing to cultural diversity and inclusion within your first 2 years? So again, let's have a show of hands for those of you that do make that commitment, and then who'd like to speak to this question? Max, Phillip, I haven't heard from you for a moment. You grab the mic first, and then we'll come to you, Max and Kellyanne.
Thank you. Possibly the question is not wanting to dominate the last one I answer, although if there's some chance towards the end, it'd be nice to throw in something related to these specific elections. I believe I've talked about cultural diversity and involvement quite a bit. As I mentioned, when I arrived, I've done 5 years of contracts with Bendigo Council, particularly around cultural diversity and inclusion. First job was support to the Muslim community with construction of the mosque up there. Worked on strategic development with them, etc. Free Palestine also asked a question in the written ones directly to Palestine. I would like a bit of an opportunity to talk to that, please. I've got a long history involved in that, and I've put the answers on the CV. I would think one of the things in accordance with what's going on at the moment between the river and the sea the council can be doing is first of all just calling for a ceasefire now, unconditional, unilateral, just stop the bloody killing, please. It's gone on for too long. There are people in this community of different perspectives and values, but who have been affected by that and are traumatised by that. And irrespective of what we think or feel, we, as a council, as a community, we have a duty of care towards them and their mental health. 1990s, I was fortunate to live in South Africa. I was there for the end of apartheid and the glory of liberation. I was predominantly working in water sector reform, although also got involved. I was living in one of the old Bandistans in terms of local government for the first time, establishing inclusive local government between black and white communities, and I bring those lessons. And we're here for the long haul. We've settled in Chewton, we're not going anywhere. Earlier this century, I spent a few years with international humanitarian organisations working in war zones, and I've seen more on how horrible it is. I call that all crimes against humanity, no matter who commits them. I know there can be, look over there, there's a state actor who's got a massive long list of war crimes, but there are non-state actors as well. And one of the lessons I took from South Africa, we talk here about driving our own local development, and international allies are essential, but the change has to be driven internally. In South Africa, the rise of the United Democratic Front was one of the fundamental things that brought an end to apartheid there. In that region between the river and the sea, I want to give a call out to a few organisations. The Palestinian Women for Peace and their Israeli counterpart. No, Palestinian Women of the Sun and their Israeli counterpart, Women for Peace. B'Tselem, Breaking the Silence, Standing Together, and the predominantly men's group Combatants for Peace, soldiers who have put down their weapons. Their hands across the apartheid wall in that part of the world. We want them to grow them and to nurture them, and so that they can tear down that wall, because there are 14 million people there, 7 million Israeli citizens, 7 million Palestinians, and they're not going anywhere, and a way has to be found. And the very final point I would make is, as a council, what can we be doing? One thing, and this would relate to the question from refugees. Thank you, Lance, and great respect to you, mate, and to your father as well. So one point, please. As a council, can we go to the federal government and say, we're a welcoming community, we will take refugees from Gaza, send them to us, we'll give them a haven, and Sudan as well, because there's a genocide going on there also, and nobody's watching it.
Thanks, Phil. I had Max and Kellyanne and then Toby, so...
This is a hard one. I was happened to be at the council meeting when that particular group came, and they were told that it wasn't a council matter, and that may be so. And here's the difficulty that I have to face. I work across the whole community. I'm a volunteer for the local press. I've been doing it for 20 years. No one else is going to take over the job that I've done. I'm able to go right through all the different communities, the different religious backgrounds, the different ethnic backgrounds and different people, and I'm accepted everywhere. If I take a particular stand, that isn't going to quite work. Now, the other point that I want to make here is, and this is this difficulty. Again, one needs to do homework and research. A few years ago, the Jewish community in the Shire celebrated not so much the birthday, but the work that the one particular Aboriginal person that did, speaking out against the Holocaust and the Second World War at the UN. And they had publicity. That was in the middle of town. I took the photos, and then they had meetings afterwards supporting that particular person, an Aboriginal, who sided with them. So we have this problem in the community. We can't take sides because you're going to affect somebody. You're going to affect somebody's mental health one way or the other, whether that's for or against the diversity of this community. And I've seen how people of different nationalities and different religions have been affected by this topic. Is it something that local government can get involved with? That'll be up to the next councillor to make a move.
Leanne?
That was Uncle William Cooper you were talking about. So, look, this is something my old people went through. I'm a product of that. I am hearing the pain and the anguish that local community are going through and witnessing the horrors of what is happening in Palestine. I'm here to listen. What messages community want me to bring to the table and learning more. But also, I would not be fearful to express what people want. If I was elected, my role is messenger, listener, carer, and I'm here to stand up for everybody. I want to be able to bring voices to the table and strongly advocate for them. I'm committed to upholding human rights. My whole work, my life, is about human rights and advocating for rights for my people, as well as country, animals, everybody. The rights of community and country. And what affects us here, it's a ripple effect of what's going on out there. Ceasefire now.
Thanks, Kerrie. Yeah, look, an active and consistent position on human rights, absolutely. Whether that's in Gaza, in our own Shire, of course, like unequivocally. I guess the reason I didn't put my hand up to that pledge was because, as you probably know, Council has a position which is to not bear on matters of international, national or state issues. And so until that was changed or overturned, then I don't see that it's my role to be advocating or lobbying state or federal governments on the matter of Palestine. But I really appreciate the work of Free Palestine Central Victoria, and I look forward to more engagement and conversation with them.